Welcome, guys. Good morning. If you are just tuning to our channel, I would like you to subscribe, share, like, and tap on the notification bell for any new videos. Today, we'll be solving the topic called ratio and proportion. These are our first questions. We have a list of 6 questions, so we can show you the tricks and technique in solving ratio and proportion. This is the first question, so let's proceed. Question number 1, it says that John can type 200 words in 8 minutes. How long does it take to type 800 words? Right? Now, if you look at this question, now we can set your equation and see what's the solution. Right? You're saying that John can type 200 words, right? If John can type 200 words, then we say John, if John can type 200 words, right? And he can type in how many minutes? 8 minutes, right? He can type in what? 8 minutes. Now, to solve this problem, it's very simple now. Since we're having John can type 200 words in 8 minutes, that means that the question says, how long does it take to type 800 words, right? So how long does it take to type 800 words? So we say he can take, say, 800 words, right? So now for ratio and proportion, we said that the unit should always be the same. The order in magnitude is very cardinal. So here, since the question asks how many in how long does it take to type 800 words. Now we're having words in the question, right? But we're having words in our equation form. So it's the same words on a word, right? So the equation are the same, right? So it's saying 800 over what? 200 words, right? It should be multiplied by what? The quantity, right? And the quantity for here we'll consider what? In minutes, right? Multiplied by what? 8, 8 minutes, right? Because it says how long mean the time, right? Okay, so we say that word cancel words, right? Now we say 8 800 divided by 200 is just the same 4, right? Because 20 cancel this 20. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 8, which will just be what? 32, right? So your answer here for this question will just be 32 minutes, right? It will just be what? 32 minutes. So John can, we say, John can type 800 words in what? 32 minutes, right? Very good. So we move to the next question. Now the next question say, if 15 boys can do a piece of work in 60 days, how many boys will be required to complete the same work in 20 days? Now, the difference between direct proportion and indirect proportion is that this word same, right? Now, if you see same in the problem, the word same, you should know definitely is what? Indirect or inverse proportion, right? Now, if you don't see same in the problem, it's definitely direct proportion, because most time it will ask you the amount of person that can do that same job, right? Okay, so now we see in this word same, so directly we know is what? Indirect proportion. So we can go on and solve our problem. Now we can say if it is solution, we're saying that if let's say we say if we say that if 15 boys can if 15 boys can do a piece of work in 60 days, right? In 60 days, right? If 15 boys can do a piece of work in 60 days, how much, right? How much boys will be required to complete that same work, right? That same work in what? 20 days, right? In 20 days. So since we're talking about something about inverse proportion now, we will not be considering the question, but instead the previous ones, right? If 15 boys can do a piece of work in 60 days, right? If 15 boys can do that particular work in 60 days, how long will it take? 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 sorry, how many balls will be required to complete the same work in what 20 days, right? In what 20 days, right? Now let me show you certain trick. So the quantity here is what 15 balls, right? Right now this question here, now you are saying that we started from here, right? It's inverse. When it was direct, now we're going to start from this 20 going to be 20 all over what 60. But since it is inverse, now we're going back to the question, the previous question, before we come to the main question that you asked. All right, now if you see here in this example, it says John can tap 200 words in 8 minutes. How long does it take to tap 800 words, right? What we started with, the question, right? 800 words. So it will be 800 words divided by 200. But unlike inverse, right? Inverse, you will notice that it will be talking about, since we have the question here, it will be this the sentence that we were reading divided by the question, right? So we started with 600 divided by 20. You see it? Okay. So times the quantity, right? Now if we do our math here, we know that this cancel this, right? So asking how many balls, so our answer any balls, right? So you notice that 0 cancel 0, 2 going to say 1 time, 2 going to 6 is 3. So if you do the math now, see 3 times 15, it will give you like 45, right? So 45 boys, right? We know definitely it will take 45 boys to complete that same work in what 20 days. Okay, now let's see the third question. Now the third question here says, a motorcycle race takes 30 minutes to complete a journey when he travels at 60 km per hour. How long will it take to cover the same distance at 50 km per hour? Now, see the logic behind it. We still seeing this word what? Same. So it's definitely what? Inverse, right? Inverse proportion. So we know, since we identify it is inverse proportion, we use inverse method, right? Wherein we use the question as the denominator, right? So say solution. We say 60 kilometer per hour will be equal to what? 30 minutes, right? So we say motorcycle will take 30 minutes to complete a journey, right? When he travels 60 kilometers. So every 60 kilometers, that 30 minutes he can take, right? Now we will come to the question now. Send the question say how long, so you ask for the time now, right? How long will it take to cover the same distance, right? We want to know how long will it take to cover the same distance. So definitely we're not going to start with this, we're going to start with this. We're going to divide by the question. The process, this will be 60 kilometer per hour, or divided by, let's say 50 kilometer per what hour, right? So it should be multiplied by the quantity, which is what that's a 30 minutes, right? So you know that kilometer per hour cancel kilometer per hour, right? Very good. So if you do your math in there, you know 0, you know this will cancel this, and then if you do your math, you know that 6 divided by 5 is what 1.2, right? Now if you take this 1.2 and multiply by, let's say 30, we're supposed to get what 36, right? So then our answer for this will be what 36 minutes, right? 36 minutes. 1.2 times what 30 is what 36, right? So it'll be 36 minutes. Thank you guys. As you can see, let me just rehearse. The first question says John can type 200 words in 8 minutes. How long does it take to type 800 words? This is a direct proportion, so we use direct method wherein we start from the question. We show the question divided by what here, right? The previous one. So it will be the one I ask you divided by the previous one. Now, for here, since we're having inverse proportion, now we will say this question will be the denominator. Now we'll start from here. The 60 will be divided by what? The 20 that we're seeing here. The same thing with here. We are seeing inverse proportion. We'll notice that the question will be the denominator, right? So it will be unit under unit, right? So it will be 60 divided by what? 50 times the quantity, right? So thank you guys for paying attention. Wait till as we go about to solve the previous ones. The last three on our list for ratio and proportion, so you can get all the tricks and techniques in solving ratio and proportion. Thank you very much, guys.